Ever feel like you're just scratching the surface trying to learn something really key?
Yeah, like drowning in info but not getting the core idea.
Exactly. So today we're doing the opposite. A deep dive into Steve Jobs, using 10 of his most powerful quotes,
Hmm.
our mission, to pull out that hidden wisdom, those sort of aha moments that might actually, shift how you think.
Right. Think of it like concentrated insight, the core thinking you can use, basically, without reading the whole biography.
Okay, let's kick off with quote one. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Classic Jobs.
It is. And the real takeaway, I think, isn't just follow your dreams. It's about seeing those subtle pressures.
Like what?
Well, what society expects, what your family thinks success looks like, all that stuff that can push you off your track.
He definitely walked his own path, dropping out of college.
Exactly. So the lesson is you got to constantly check in. Is my energy going where I actually want it to? Really aligned with my own values.
Makes sense. Okay, next. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Ah, the crazy ones. Love this one.
We see it with the Mac, the iPhone, right? It seemed impossible.
Totally. But the core thing here isn't just the big tech achievements, it's the underlying belief. The belief that things can be changed.
That the status quo isn't fixed.
Precisely. It's about fostering that mindset that doesn't just accept limits. So what crazy idea is buzzing around in your head? Maybe that's the one.
Okay, this next one feels very direct. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower.
Yeah, sharp, isn't it? It's not about just tweaking things.
Making things a little better, yeah.
No, Jobs wasn't about incremental improvement. He was aiming for fundamental shifts, a revolution, not just an upgrade.
Like the jump from PCs back then to the Mac interface, huge difference.
Exactly. So the lesson is look for those big shifts in your own work. Don't just polish what's already there.
Okay, here's a heavier one. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose.
Oof. Yeah, especially given his own battle with cancer later on.
Right.
It's potent, using mortality not morbidly, but as a lens to clarify what really matters, and crucially, to cut through fear.
Fear of failure, embarrassment.
All of it. When you really face that finite reality, a lot of those smaller fears just they shrink, don't they? It frees you up for bolder moves. What would you do differently if you knew time was short? It's a powerful question.
Definitely a perspective shift.
Okay.
Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. The calligraphy story comes to mind here.
Yes, that calligraphy class influencing Apple's typography years later. Who connects those dots?
Seemed so random.
But that's the point, isn't it? Trusting those inner pulls, those interests that don't make immediate sense. Jobs saw connections others missed. Maybe your own breakthrough is hidden in some seemingly unrelated passion.
Interesting. Now, about persistence. I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance.
Ah, the grit factor. So crucial.
His own story proves it, getting fired from Apple, then coming back.
Absolutely. Resilience is key. Setbacks happen, right? They're inevitable. It's that ability to just keep going, learn, adapt. That's often the decider.
Remembering a time you pushed through something tough.
Yeah. What did you learn about your own staying power then?
Good point.
Yeah.
How about this? Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works.
Yes. This is core Jobs' philosophy. It's not just about making things pretty.
It's deeper than aesthetics.
Much deeper. For him, form and function were intertwined. Real design solves a problem elegantly, intuitively. It's the whole experience. So don't just judge by the cover, Dig into how it actually functions.
Right. And the famous Stanford closing. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Eh.
It feels like a motto.
It really does. It's about never losing that curiosity, that willingness to question everything, to not be afraid of looking, foolish sometimes.
Avoiding complacency.
Exactly. Always learning, always exploring, never thinking you've got it all figured out.
And it wasn't just him. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people.
Important reminder. Even a visionary like Jobs relied on brilliant teams. Apple, Pixar, huge collaborations.
Recognizing you need others.
Yeah, valuing different skills, building that team dynamic. Big goals need collective effort, always.
Okay, last one. Being the richest man in a cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me.
Powerful closer. It puts it all in perspective, doesn't it?
Impact over wealth.
Totally. What really matters in the end? Contribution. Making something meaningful. It forces you to ask, What dent do I want to make in the universe?
So 10 quotes, 10 glimpses into a pretty remarkable way of thinking.
Definitely shaped our world.
So the question for everyone listening, maybe, considering all this, what's one seemingly small shift in your thinking starting today that could spark something unexpectedly big later on?
Stay hungry, stay foolish.